So many people in the world with so many problems. Those brave enough to embark on the journey of solving these problems will ultimately reach a threshold of understanding and require a path to greater knowledge, the path to know thyself. All of our problems lead to a universal solution. Until you decide you are the creator of your own life, you can't change anything. All your problems stay the same. The Modern Mystery School is a community of spiritual catalysts who are trying to answer the question, can I change? Can we as humanity change? Can we solve our problems? Can we create a better life for ourselves and the world? Is peace possible? Join us on our quest to discover and see if they can. This is a series about the hearts of people who sought a different way. Because it is time for something real. Something that cuts through the illusion of what we are not. So that you can remember what you are. That you are light. You are divine. You are magic. And magic is real. It's living right there inside of you.
I was pretty deep in AA, so it was like, you have a drink by accident, you wake up with a needle in your arm.
I told my parents that I was a witch, which back in those days, was kind of unusual to want to identify with that, because witches were the old, ugly hook nose with the wart, with the hair growing out.
I've tried sobering up in the past. I've been to several inpatients. I usually make it like a week or two and get kicked out because Justin off of drugs doesn't behave well.
I come from a big family with a very strong disciplinarian family, father who would say no, or no, you can't have that. Even as an adult, that has still been with me.
When I started sobering up, the mental stuff I was running from started coming back. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I was getting high, you know what I mean? I'm like, I can't really cope with this.
I had not really been anywhere or involved in anything that just allowed me to just be me, and gave me that feeling that this is right, this is good.
I didn't have anything to live for. I didn't want to be gone, but I didn't want to be here either. I felt very stuck. I think that was the hard part. I wasn't proud of myself, and I had no direction. I had a hard time being alone with my own thoughts. I would surround myself with people because alone, my mind would beat up on me, and I would get very depressed and anxious and spent most of my time so depressed and anxious all the time, I didn't realize I was depressed or anxious. I just thought that's how everybody copes through life. You just suck it up, and just try to make yourself smile. So I'd say I had a good heart, but I was lost. I knew who I was, what I wanted to do. I wasn't even sure, simple stuff, how I like to dress, what music I listened to, because so much of my life was built around trying to impress others so I can feel worthwhile. If I can make you laugh, or I can make you mad, or I can make you whatever, that gives me some kind of value to my life. I was prescribed, stimulants from the age of kindergarten all the way to high school, and I hated being on it. I can't stand stimulants. It makes me feel like I'm not myself. It shuts me up, it works, don't get me wrong, but you're not you. And I hated being on that, twice a day for 15 years. And then as I got older, when I tried to get off heroin before, I got on Suboxone, and I had a Suboxone doctor, and she's like, I don't think you understand, your ADHD is worse than your heroin addiction, which I had a hard time understanding, because I'm like, dude, I have overdosed in a Walgreens, and I've fallen into the cooler trying to get a Fiji water, because I was thought it was better to put that kind of water into my veins. I was like, that'll take care of my health. So it kind of blew my mind, like, that my ADHD was worse than the thing that's been killing me. And once I sobered up, initially I understood, because it was so hard to, I mean, just staying seated and having a conversation without thinking about other stuff and being worried about what someone's thinking about, to not like misbehaving, you know what I mean? Just acting out so if I can make you laugh, I can feel okay, you know what I mean? To be able to like organize and like conduct myself in a way where I can accomplish many things at once. With ADHD, I couldn't do that, you know? I thought the best I would ever do with life is if I can make $15 an hour doing construction, that's my cap. That's my peak, and I was happy to get that.
I think that my limitations are often self-imposed. I will feel my age as a limitation. Sometimes I will feel my race as a limitation. Sometimes I feel my sex as my gender as a limitation. Often I've been able to work with these things anyway. I've never been 72 before, so I'm still working with that. Right now I am a cashier with Target. The funny thing is that I've always had this really up and down relationship with money. And I know that, or I feel that tied into that up and down relationship with money is also that up and down relationship with myself and my self-worth, and feeling that I deserve things or that, you know, I'm allowed. So when I was 6, I decided to become Catholic, even though my parents were Baptist, but I decided to become Catholic because they did communion. I took it literally when the priest would say, I'm taking this wafer and this wine and I'm converting it to the body and the blood of Christ. I'm like, that's magic. You know, magic felt like something beyond the everyday, the things that I could see and touch. That even though I may be touching something, that there's something else. You know, there was more to it than just what I saw and just what I could feel with my physical senses. I had a disagreement with my confessor. You know, when I got my teenage years, so that kind of took me away from the church. I went away from Catholicism and went like 180 degrees. I went to England and I started to step out more into doing things that I would never have thought that I could do. I had read a lot of books about magic and spell casting, but I didn't know. I wasn't involved with any groups of people that did anything like that until I went out to California, and then everybody was doing that. Miss California, it's the 60s, you know, I mean, everybody was into everything. I was seeking the connection that rang true for me. I was seeking that heart connection, that, you know, something that I felt, this is real, I feel it, this is real. It's not giving me the nose, it's opening all the doors, it's saying, yes, you have this within you. Craving Magick is absolutely it.
I had a super yearning for the spiritual, but I found it through really excessive psychedelic use. You know, I was with a crowd that always had like really high quantities and quality of LSD, mushrooms, nitrous, ketamine. We did interstate trafficking and stuff like that, and I had a very life or death experience. We were on a run picking up some supplies, and my buddy spilled a bunch, like a vial in my mouth on a run. And as soon as it hit my mouth, I knew it was far too much, and I just let the entire thing sit. And in like 15 minutes, it was like I was tripping harder than I even know was possible. I stepped in front of a moving vehicle and just saw white light. Like it was it. I was out of my body. I was very confused. I was pleading to come back. And it wasn't really until I was like, I can't leave here until everyone knows how much I love them. And I was back in my body. I was back in my body, very confused, so I thought I was just dead. It destroyed everything that I knew about life, you know, and it wasn't like just a guess anymore or an inkling. It's like I had this experience that like some people don't come back from. So then I went a couple years of doing that, trying to chase that experience to understand it, and got super spun out, just using all the time. And then eventually I started finding alcohol to cope with the mental aspect of it. I started self-medicating. I always keep 2 flasks on me and a bottle in the car. I went from just like medicating and using a little bit, sniffing it, to being like a full-on IV junkie for the next couple years. And I could have a house with just 1 year of one of those drugs, not even the whole salad of it. But the cocaine took me to my knees so quick, I didn't know what to do. I ran out of options. I was working several jobs, and I was a bouncer, I was doing construction, I would do side jobs, and I was hustling, and I was barely getting by. I didn't know when I ate or slept last. I watched my health go down, and I just like, this moment hit me where I was like, man, if I don't know the last time I ate or slept, you know, 1 or 3 days is a big difference. Like, my heart and my body can't take this much longer. And that was like my last shot. I kind of just reached out, you know, I kind of like had one of those foxhole prayers. This is my fuck up. I know I'm not gonna live for much longer. And reached out to my folks, and they shipped me off to Arizona. And I stayed in a super cool treatment that had a lot of like holistic healing. And that was like, that started, I mean, I knew it was different that time because I've tried sobering up in the past. I've been to several inpatients. I usually make it like a week or 2 and get kicked out because like Justin off of drugs doesn't behave well, you know? And I think that treatment is what also led me to be searching for something like the mystery school, because it was like my first taste of like doing energy work and, you know, all those different new kind of healings. And I was like, wow, there's something to this. You know, I want to be involved with something like this for the rest of my life.
The modern mystery school, when I heard those words, you know how you can get so excited when you hear something, you just know, yeah, this is it, this is the place.
And I can really tell when people are not being genuine. But it was like, even after only being a couple times and going back there after months, everyone remembered my name, you know what I mean? I didn't know any of their names. And to get like those hugs, you know what I mean? As if like, and just to, when you get that hug, to feel like you've already known each other for a while. You know, to have like a feeling without a shadow of a doubt that like, I feel I'm in the right spot. To have that like sense of peace just wash over you, you know, with someone you just met. You know, that was like the first thing, was like, I don't know what this is, but I'm coming back, you know? And that's how it's been the entire time.
With a lot of the other things that I tried, it didn't satisfy me. It was like seeing something that looks really delicious and biting into it, and there's no substance there. The taste isn't there. It looked good, but it wasn't what it claimed to be. With the modern mystery school, with the experiences that I've had from life activation on, it has satisfied me. It's filled me. It fills my need to validate all of those years of seeking. It's like, yeah, I sought this. I've been digging through the mud for this diamond, and now I found this diamond.
It slowly keeps opening my eyes to who I actually am. And it's like a very like authentic feeling, because you're feeling all this change happening, but it's not like, who is Justin? You know what I mean? Each day I'm slowly shedding this cocoon and becoming who I am and feeling like it's not a different person, like it's a new thing as I shed layers, but it feels as original as it should be, I guess. And thankfully it works so well that like you can be like a living example of what it is, you know, because people who knew me 5, 10 years ago, or like my folks, you know, I mean, they're blown away. You know, they're like, whatever it is, like, you know, keep rocking and rolling. Because I've been able to be there for like my family a lot more.
Dream come true is kind of a, doesn't cover it. Doesn't cover it. It's like, this is where I've been walking to all this time. Even when there were boulders in the way, even when, you know, things that I put in my way, I've still been walking to here. And now I'm here in the Modern Mystery School at Healers Academy.
I usually describe it as just like a community of, you know, catalyst spiritual evolution. You know, I'm like, you can change in more ways than you know. And now Mystery School has like really had me understand that I got to keep dreaming bigger, you know, because I'm getting these things faster and faster and faster, where I'm like, am I even dreaming big enough now, you know, to really understand like, hey dude, remember, anything you want is possible, basically. You know, you have that inside of you.
King Solomon took all these teachings and cultures and brought it all together to make this new thing. So it's kind of like the modern Mystery School and I are twins because of this same blending of the best, you know, the best of it all, to have all of this energy, that all these things, you know, I get to weave all these things into this being that's me. I get to define who I am. I get to define my reality because I get to take the best of all of this to make this kind of a new thing that I am. And it also feels like starting, you know, like, yeah, okay, now I'm on the starting block. Now I can run, you know, now I've got the gun and I can run. I got the starting gun. It feels authentic. It makes me feel authentic. And it makes me feel that because I walked to get here, and it's been however long it's been to get here, that I chose it and it chose me back.
My advice to someone who had a similar past or a younger self, I would just tell them to hold on. You know, help is on the way. So I think I would tell them to hold on, there's hope, and see if you're actually ready, because it's there.
Life activation. That door started to crack open of, you know, you can, yes, you are allowed, and yes, you are enough, and yes, it's good. Call it and it'll come. Call it. The universe has said, I'm here for you. Just ask for what you want.